This is the new Kia Ceed, and buying one of these is a bit like walking into a restaurant and ordering a burger. You see, it's not the most inspired or exciting choice, but it is safe and it is dependable. Now, Kia have recently updated this car to give it a midlife facelift. I'll talk you through the changes in this video as I go around the exterior, the interior, and I take it for a drive. And of course, I'm going to launch it, see how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I'm Mike Watson and you're watching Carwow. Buy, sell,
Carwow.
Let's start this video by talking about the design of the Kia Ceed and the changes that they've made to it. They've got some new tail lights for the GT line version, which have this honeycomb pattern in them. Pretty cool. You also get Kia's new badging. And on the previous car, you used to have really fake exhausts, whereas now they're a suggestion of fakeness, a bit like the way Mercedes do it. The real exhausts are actually underneath. Moving down the side, you've got some new alloy wheel designs. These are the 17s, but the alloy wheel sizes actually start at 16 and go all the way up to 18s. Another change Kia has made to the car as part of the facelift: gloss black door mirrors. Oh yeah. The biggest changes though are at the front. What they've done, they've completely redesigned the front end, so it's just more angular. Here's the previous generation car. You can just see that this just has a bit more presence to it, and being the GT line version, you get added chromage. I think overall this is a good looking car. Price is good as well. The Ceed starts from just over £24,000, so you can save an average of almost £2,000 off one through Carwow. In fact, if you want to see how much money you can save on a new car, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below to go to Carwow. Alternatively, at a later date, you can just simply Google "Help me Carwow" and me and my team will help you choose the right car for you and get it for a fair price from one of our trusted dealers. Kia says they have updated the interior of the Ceed by adding more soft touch materials. For instance, you now get plusher, more lovely leather on the steering wheel. Oh, and the steering wheel also has a new Kia logo on it. You also get leather on the gear knob across the entire range. Also, there's softer materials on the seats and you get a new pattern as well. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as before. So the design is reasonably okay. It's not the most exciting, but you have this leatherette dash, which is soft touch material. And it's even got stitching in it. You've got soft touch materials up here, soft here, and it's squidgy armrest as well. And the cabin is brightened by these chromy accents, which are, of course, the highest quality plastic. This car has a decent sized infotainment screen and it's reasonable to navigate through it. There we go, dead simple, and it responds reasonably quickly, although it's not the fastest, but who cares? What you're going to do is plug in your phone and use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. What I'm really pleased about though is that the climate controls are separate to the main infotainment screen, so you can easily operate them when you're driving, so quickly change the temperature like that. And I like the way that the actual temperature is within the dial itself, a bit like on an Audi R8. You also got some old school analog dials with a small screen in between it where you can cycle through various menus. That seems a little bit old-fashioned compared to the big digital screens you get in stuff like the Peugeot 308. Speaking of which, the Peugeot does have a more modern feeling interior, and if you want to see what it's like, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description to watch my review of that brand new car. Another thing that's not so brand new about this is, look, got an old-fashioned handbrake, a manual one, which you could use for handbrake turns. Practicality is good though in this. Decent storage there. You've got a couple of cup holders there as well. The door bins are a reasonable size. Look, I'll take the big bottle. There's some storage under here for your mobile phone. Then you've got your connectivity there. There's a USB there, another USB there, old-fashioned USBs, and a 12-volt socket there as well. And then the glove box, that's a reasonable size too. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, Matt, in the previous scene when you're outside the car, you had your glasses on. Now you're inside, they've gone. Where are they? Well, look, they're magicked into their really handy glasses holder. That wasn't a mistake, that was totally planned. Oh, one last thing to show you. Look at this. There's so much adjustment in the seat. So even if you've got the longest legs in the world, you'll be able to get comfy behind the wheel. Also, if you're short, there's plenty of height adjustment. So even the smallest person will be able to see out over the bonnet, which is good. Ah, finally. Here in the back of the Kia Ceed, there's enough space. So knee room's good, headroom is good. Even people over 6 foot will have just enough space. If you need to carry 3 at once, well, there isn't that much of a hump in the floor, so there is enough room for everybody's feet. This centre seat isn't too uncomfortable either. However, the body is reasonably narrow, so people on the outer seats will get pushed out slightly, and because the roof curves in at the sides, taller people will end up brushing their heads against the roof lining, which isn't ideal, but it's okay for this size of car. In terms of other areas of practicality, you've got an armrest here with exposed cup holders, which is a bit of a shame, so when you're not using them, you do end up putting your wrist in them. They will fit a larger bottle, so we'll the door bins. You've got some pockets on the backs of the front seat, and really that's all you need to know. Oh, apart from the fact that it is quite easy fitting a child seat in here because the ISOFIX anchor points, they just move out of the way so easily, and there is enough room for a bulky rear facing seat without having to push the front passenger seat forward. It's all good. Let's continue with the practicality theme here at the boot. So the load capacity of the Kia Ceed is 395 litres, which is more than a Volkswagen Golf and a Ford Focus. However, it's quite a lot less than a Skoda Octavia. Want to see my full in-depth video review of that car? Click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below. One thing I like about the Kia though is there's not really a load lip, so you can just slide things in and out dead easy. You've got some extra storage under there as well, some storage in the side pockets there, some strappage, hanging points there, 12-volt socket, and when you fold the rear seats down, look at this, there's no step in the floor, so you can easily throw things to the front like that. Wait a minute, do you know what, I wish my glasses would just stop magically disappearing from my face at random. Anyone would think that we're not very good at continuity here at carwow. Anyway, that brings us on to 5 annoying things about the Kia Ceed. For some reason, while you do have cruise control with lane keeping assist, which will automatically steer to keep you in lane, it doesn't have the distance control thing where it uses a radar to actually accelerate or brake you to keep you that distance from the car in front. Now you do get that system if you have the automatic version of the Ceed, but you can't get the automatic model of the Ceed in the UK for some reason. The load cover doesn't quite fit underneath the false floor. Look, it's just a bit too wide there. What a shame. For some reason, there are no USB sockets in the back of this car. So what are the kids going to do when their devices run out of electricity? I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll scream their bloody heads off and annoy the heck out of you. The standard 6-speaker stereo you get with this car isn't particularly good. It's not that loud, and it's also quite tinny. While you have full screen Apple CarPlay, for some reason on Android Auto you don't. You get this big black panel there. Now in the very latest systems you get full widescreen Android Auto, but not here, not in the Ceed. Thankfully this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. As well as your normal widescreen parking camera view, you also get a sort of top-down view which allows you to get very close to other objects without actually touching them. There's some handy guides there for the rear seat belts. It means that when you fold down the back seats, unlike with some other cars where they catch on there and then flop behind and they get trapped, they don't here on the Ceed, they're just kept nicely in place. There are 3 different customizable buttons on this car. So there's one here on the main infotainment screen there. You can choose between Bluetooth audio, phone projection, Kia Connect, blah, 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 blah. Then there's one here on the steering wheel, which you can choose between it operating to reject a call, phone for hands-free calling, privacy mode, voice memo, reroute, blah, 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 blah. And then you can even change the mode button up there to do these other functions: Bluetooth audio, phone projections, sounds of nature, whatever that is, USB music, USB video, DAB, FM radio, or AM. There's quite a lot of choice. Bigger Kia, you get the industry-leading 7-year warranty. That's peace of mind right there. I like the way this car has some of the largest vanity mirrors I've seen on any car. Plus, the light doesn't automatically come on. You can choose whether you want to be illuminated or not. And when you flip this back up, the design of the switch means that it automatically turns off again. Clever. The Kia Ceed is available with 3 different engines. There's a 1 litre petrol with 120 horsepower, or this 1.5 litre petrol with 160 horsepower. Then there's a diesel 1.6 litre with 136 horsepower. Then there's 3 different trim levels to choose from. So what I'm going to do now is configure my ideal Kia Ceed engine and trim choice using the carwow configurator. And if you want to see what that car is, the engine and trim combination, and the saving available on it, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below. Right, let's see what the Kia Ceed is like to drive, starting with on a country road. One thing you first notice about this car is that it's quite responsive. The steering seems particularly fast for just a normal hatchback. However, if you really start pushing, then you do notice that the car starts to run out of talent the quicker you get. So while it at first feels quite sporty, in the end it's not as sporty as you think. In fact, a Ford Focus is definitely more fun to drive than this car, and if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there for the link in the description below. However though, it's not bad and it does a good enough job. It doesn't lean too much in the bend, so you don't feel car sick or anything like that. The thing I've noticed about this car though is that they seem to have got the balance of the suspension just right. It's almost like the perfect gravy. So it's not too thin that you end up with your meal basically being like some kind of soup, and nor is it too thick that you have to spoon it on. It's just that right balance between firmness and softness, so it never feels wallowy and it never feels crashy over bumps. Good work, Kia. Now, one thing I will complain about though is when you get on the motorway of this car, and it's because you get quite a lot of noise from the tyres. When you're cruising at 70, you really do have to turn the stereo up quite a way, and it is a bit annoying that the stereo isn't the loudest. Could do with a more powerful stereo, this car, I think. Other than that though, on the motorway it's relaxing because the seats are comfy and generally get a good view out. Plus economy is good. I've averaged 43 miles per gallon. Not bad at all. Now then, let's see what the Kia's like to drive in town. Steering is nice and light. The brakes are progressive. The gearbox and the clutch, they're quite light. Though the gear shift itself, while accurate, is a bit on the notchy side. Visibility is good. Decent view at the back window, decent view at the front window. Good door mirrors as well. They're not overly large. You've got a slightly different magnification on the edge of the driver's side mirror, which extends the view. That's handy. What is less handy though is that when you come to a junction and you want to pull away, this turbocharged engine has a bit of a lag. You really have to get it over around 2.5 to 3,000 RPM before it really starts pulling. It's a bit annoying that. Some competitors have slightly more punchy turbocharged engines than this Kia. What I can't fault though is the turning circle. It's under 11 metres and it's better than most of its key competitors. I'll just illustrate that now by going around this mini roundabout. One whole revolution, hopefully without annoying other drivers. So, can I just get around there? Yeah, look at that, no problem at all. Really tight turning circle. That makes this car very, very easy to manoeuvre around town. My overall impression of this car is that it's very, very easy to live with and to drive. It's a good all-rounder. It's not brilliant, it doesn't set your world on fire, it just goes about its business in a very easy and relaxing way indeed. Kia says this 1.5 litre turbo petrol manual version of the Ceed should be able to do 0 to 60 in 8.4 seconds, but I'm going to find out myself with my specialist timing gear up here. Let's launch it. A lot of wheel spin, that stank. What have we got? 8.65 seconds with all the wheel spin in the world. While it might have a bit of lag, this engine, when you first put your foot down, if you do rev it up, it goes all right. In case you're wondering why all the wheel spin, it's because I turned the traction control off. Sometimes it gives you a better time. So then, what's my final verdict on the new Kia Ceed? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Ceed. It's a really good all-round family car. It's very reliable, unlike my ability to make sure that I'm wearing my glasses in every single scene. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Click on those windows there for some more videos, and on that box there to go to Carwow to see how much money you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.